your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 1s to look at. The Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. Now this is that fearless colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes. So if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does come in what does appear to be like, an inverted Air Jordan 1 box. So you do have like an all red box with the black Nike branding up top. If you do 360 around the box, you will notice more of that Nike brand in there. The bottom portion of the box, nothing too much going on here, but they do have the swoosh text here over on this side, and then they do have the black Nike swoosh here. For those that do care about that, there you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. The colorway says black, white, blue, and then red patent leather. Now when you do open the box, now up underneath is just your standard cardboard here. They do have this black swoosh text here, and then they do have the black Nike swoosh here inside the box. Now the sneaker does come in this white paper here, if you will. It's not double wrapped or anything like that. Under that, you are in there with the actual sneaker itself. But yeah, this sneaker is just like, an Air Jordan 1 sneaker that they did swap out. For the most part, like they hit us with this patent leather up top. Typically, you would just have like your standard leather. Pretty decent Air Jordan 1. I do like the colorway. The red, white, and blue was pretty dope. So like, yeah, man, excellent Air Jordan 1 sneaker. But we're not going to take too long on this one. We in and out. But there you go. The Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. And then again, this is that fearless colorway. So we're going to take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. Now from first observation, the sneaker does look like what you would expect from any other Air Jordan 1. On the lateral side of the sneaker, smack dead in the middle here, you do have this patent leather here dyed in white. They did give us the black Nike swoosh here with the black stitching. Of course, you do have some white stitching coming up here vertically as well. They did give us the hits of the red patent leather here and then the blue going towards the back. Now, one thing they did a little bit different on this pair, instead of giving us that standard Air Jordan 1 Wings logo, they actually gave us this kind of like tab here, if you will. And it does have like, it's all black, but it does have like, the yellow Air Jordan 1 Wings logo there on the inside. It doesn't glow in the dark or anything like that. It just kind of like, reflects well to the light. Up top here, around the sock liner, you do have this hit of black patent leather here as well. The sock liner of the sneaker itself is composed of like, this mesh material. The midsole of the sneaker is all white here, and they do have the hit of red showing up underneath. And that's pretty much it over on this side. Now switching gears, going to the front toe box area of the sneaker, you are met with more of that patent leather material here, and it is perforated just like most Air Jordan 1s. They did go ahead and give us this red mud guard situation here with the red stitching. Now the sneaker itself, it did not come pre-laced. The tongue of the sneaker is like, in this black nylon mesh material. Now up top, they did give us this white tag here, and it does have the Nike Air branding there in red, and that's pretty much it. Now the inside of the sneaker, I'm not going to pull the insole out, but they did give us the white insole there with the fear text on the inside going over towards the medial side of the sneaker. Pretty consistent, just like any other Air Jordan 1. So you do have the black Nike swoosh over on this side with the black stitching. You do have the blue going on the back panels here, and then red going towards the front. Of course, you do have your rubber cup sole showing here for the midsole here in the white with the red showing up underneath. And then of course you have more of that black patent leather showing on the top here. Now going towards the rear, you do have for the most part the blue dyed patent leather here with the stitching that's consistent there. Of course, you do see like, some white and black patent leather coming from both sides. And then you do have this blue tab here. And then you do have this horizontal stitching there in white. That's it for the back. Now going towards the bottom, pretty much a standard Air Jordan 1 traction, nothing too different here. So you do have your circular traction pod up top, and you do have your Nike text right there, smack dead in the middle there in red. And that's pretty much it for the bottom. The left sneaker is pretty consistent with the right. There aren't any light changes or anything over on this side. Yeah, man, pretty decent Air Jordan 1 sneaker. If I were to rate this one, I would give this one a solid, let's give this one a solid 8 out of 10. The only thing that I would take away from this sneaker, and it's not like a deal breaker or anything like that, whenever they do give us these patent leather Air Jordan 1s, they are kind of stiff on feet. Another thing that I don't really like is the fact that once you wear them, they do tend to crease. So you really aren't going to really get too many wears out of this sneaker without it starting to crease up on you, and it starts to look crazy. But yeah, man, pretty decent concept. Love the colorway. As far as comfort and size, and the sneaker does fit just like any other Air Jordan 1 sneaker. Now for me, that is true to size. I don't really foresee a reason for you to want to go up or down a half size on this one at all. And that's pretty much it, man. But I definitely want to take time to shout out the vendor who actually, gets the sneaker to review on the channel for you guys. And I do encourage you to stay engaged like always. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna hit you guys with a 360 and the B-roll like I always do. But there you go, the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. And again, this is that fearless colorway. So there's the front of the sneaker, lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left. There's your bottom portion there. There's the medial side on the sneaker. And then there's the rear. But that's pretty much it, man. But I definitely thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. But until next time, see you later.